So today we are treating matrix and determinant. So our last topic is matrix. Then we've already taken example and solving example under addition, subtraction, and multiplication of matrix in the last topic we did. So today we are treating matrix and determinant. So why are we treating matrix and determinant? Is because of that. Because of what? We want to treat, like we want to solve simultaneous equation of 3 unknown number and 2 unknown alphabets. So we can firstly, before I forgot, you can subscribe through my YouTube channel by typing A.A.SOLOMON. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can see so many interesting topics that you can watch and understand. So let's move on. So today's topic says matrix and determinant. Linear programming problems are often expressed in form of simultaneous equation. Linear programming problems are often expressed in form of simultaneous equation. Those areas of application being explored included inverse of matrix method, use of Cram's rules. So it's just like our normal simultaneous equation method. You know, we have substitution method and elimination method. So in matrix we have inverse matrix method using of Cram's rules. Then we have example under it. Example 1, we have 2x minus 3y minus z equals to 1, equation 1. Then the second one, we have x plus 4y plus 2z equals to 2, equation 2. Then we have 3x plus y plus 4z equals to 3, equation 3. Then we move on. So first of all, we are going to what? Write out the what? The number in the what? In the simultaneous equation. We have to bring out the element. How are we going to bring out the element? So how are we going to bring out the element? So we have, you draw your straight line. You have 2, then you have minus 3, then you have minus 1, then you have 1, then minus 4, plus 4, then we have 2, then we have 3, then we have 1, 4, equals to, then we have 1, 2, and 3. So do we understand? Do we understand? I repeated the question we have here. So I repeated the question we have here into the what? Matrix form. So I translate this 3 equations to what? Matrix form. So I said 2, this is 2, then this is minus 3, and this is minus 1, this is 1, and this is 4, and we have 2, we have 3, we have 1, and we have 4. Then in the equals to, so we have 1, 2, and 3. So in this form of matrix we have, in this form of matrix we have, in this form of matrix we have, so we can say you have A, if you are solving inverse, if you are solving inverse method, so you are going to translate this, you are going to have A11, A12, A what? A13, then you are going to have A21, A22, A23, then you are going to have A31, A32, A33. Then you draw your line, then equals to what? So you are going to have x1, x2, then x3. So what I write here is also the same thing as here. Do we understand? So this is A11. A11 is 2. A12 is what? 12 is minus 3. A13 is what? Minus 1. So if you are solving inverse method, if you are solving simultaneous equation using inverse method, you are going to what? Use this method. You are going to have A11, A12, A13 in a what? In a row. Do you understand? So this is what we call row, and this is what we call column. Do you understand? So this kind of matrix here is what? 3 by 3 matrix. Do we understand? It's called 3 by 3 matrix. So let's solve. So the reason why it's called inverse, we are solving inverse matrix. So we want to change this matrix we have here to what? Inverse matrix. So we want to solve for A11. We want to solve for A11. Good. A11 is 2. So if you are solving for A11 equals to, always take note, minus 1 is constant. If you are solving inverse matrix, minus 1 is always constant. Then, this your A has 11. Then you are going to say 1 plus 1. Abi? Then you are going to open your bracket. So, you have, this is your 2. So, if you are solving matrix, which one are you going to pick? You close your hand, then you have this. Abi? So, you have 4, 1, 2, and 4 in matrix. So, you have, that means you are going to say this times this and this times this. You are going to have 4 times 4 minus 2 times 1. Then you are going to have 11, A11 equals to minus 1 raised to power what? 2. 1 plus 2 is what? 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Then you continue. You are going to have 4 times 4 is what? 16. Minus 2. Do you understand? So you are going to have you are going to have our A11 is going to be what? Minus 1 raised to power 2 is going to give us 1. So 16 minus 2 is what? 14. So we are going to have A11 equals to 14. A11 equals to what? 14. So let's continue to what? Let's move forward to A12. Let's solve for A12. Let's solve for A12. Sorry, I think I made mistake in this question. Sorry. From this question down here, this should be minus. Sorry. Instead of plus, I change it to minus. So you are going to change this sign to, since you change it to minus, you are going to change this place to what? Minus. Do you understand now? So let's continue. So when you have, let me start from the beginning so that you can understand much better. Okay, you want to solve for A11. Your A11 is this. Represent your A11 as 2. Represent your A12 as minus 3. Represent your minus 1 as A13. Come down here as A21. Come down here as what? A23. Come down here as what? 2A23. Come down here as what? 3A31. Come down here as what? A32 is what? 31 is 1. A33 is what? Minus 4. Do we understand? So let's move forward. When we have, you want to solve for A11 equals to, always take note that your A11, anytime you are solving inverse, you must have minus 1 is constant. Do we understand? You have to do it like this. Minus 1, always constant. Then this your 11, you repeat it as 1 plus 1. Do you understand? So if you now want to get your matrix of 2 of A11, use it. Then you have to close it. You have to close this gap. This what? This column. You've already picked 2. You've picked 2. Abi? Then these 2 will close this place. Abi? Then this 2 will close this column here. So it's affecting this place and this place here. Do you understand? So now let me look for a maybe ruler so that you can understand much better, or a book. Okay, let me use this book. Let me fold it. So you have this. These 2 is affecting this. Now you understand. So what are we having left? We're having 4, 1, 2, and what? And minus 4. Now this 4 times minus 4, then 2 times 1. So you are going to have, open bracket, 4 times minus 4, minus what? 2 times what? 2 times 1. So you are going to have A11. You are going to have A11 equals to 1 plus 1 is what? 2. So you are going to have minus 1 raised to power 2, open bracket, minus 16. 2 times what? 1 is what? Minus 2. You close your bracket. So you are going to have A11 equals to what? Minus 1 raised to power 2 is going to be what? 1. So you are going to have 1. So minus 16 minus 2, it will give you what? Minus 18. So 1 times minus 18 will give you what? It will give you minus 18. So do we understand? I said minus 1 is always constant when you are solving inverse method in matrix. When you are using inverse method to solve simultaneous equation in what? Matrix. So you have A11 equals to minus 1 raised to power 2, then open bracket minus 16 minus 2 raised to close bracket. How did I get these two? This is 11. Repeat it up. 1 plus 1 is what? 2. Simple. Do you understand? So you drive up with this. So let's move to what? Let's move to A12. A12. Let's move to A12. So we have equals to, always take note, minus 1 is what? Constant. Then you repeat what you have here. You have 1 plus 2. Have it? Open bracket. So now you are choosing your A12 is what? Minus 3. Have it? So you circle it. Have it? Your A12 we affect everything here. And we affect everything what? Here. Do you understand? So your A12 will affect like this, and will affect like this. Then you are having 1, 2, and 3. Do you understand? You are having 1, 2, 3, and minus 4. So do you understand? So you are going to say 1 times minus 4, 1 times minus 4, minus 3 times 2 will give us 3 times 2. We continue. So you are going to have A12 equals to 1 plus 2 is what? 3. You are going to have 3. Do you understand? So you are going to say 1 times minus 4 will give you what? Minus 4. Minus 3 times 6 is what? 3 times 2 is what? 6. Do you understand? So we are going to have A12 equals to minus 1 raised to power 3, which also give us minus 1. Then we are going to have minus 4 minus 6 will give us minus 10. So A12 equals to minus 1 times minus 10 will give us positive 10 plus 10. So do we understand? Positive 10. So let's move downward. Let's solve for A13. A13. So before I move downward, so let's check. Let me show you how to solve for A13. A13. So now your A13 is what? Minus 1. You circle it. Then it will affect like this. It will affect everything here. Then it will affect everything here. Do we understand? So we are now having like this, then like this. What do we now have? You are having 1 times 1, 3 times 4. Do you understand? So now, so we are going to have our A13. Our A13 equals to our A13 always minus 1 is always what? Constant. Repeat 1 and 3. 1 plus 3. Open bracket. So you are going to say 1 times 1 is what? 1 times 1 minus 3 times what? 3 times 4. Do we understand? So now let's move downward. Let's move down. So we we have A13 equals to minus 1. 1 plus 3 will give us 4. Then 1 times 1 will give us 1. Minus 3 times 4 will give us 12. Do we understand? So we are going to have A13 equals to minus 1 raised to power 4 will give us what? 1. Times 1 minus 12 will give us minus 11. So we are going to move on. We are going to have A13 is equals to 1 times minus 11 is also the same thing as what? Minus 11. So do we understand? It's also the same thing as what? Minus 11. So let's move forward to what? A21. A21. Let's move forward to A21. A21. So let's name this. So A21 is A21. Now A21 will affect everything here. Then A21 will affect everything here. Do you understand? So now our A21 is going to affect like this, then like this. So now we are having minus 3 times minus 4, then minus 1 times 1. Do we understand? So now we are going to say minus 3. You are going to repeat your minus 1 is always what? Constant. So you repeat this 2 plus 1. Open bracket. Minus 3 minus 4 times minus 4 minus again. Then minus 1 times plus 1. Do you understand? So let's move on. This is minus 1. So we are going to have our A21 equals to 2 plus 1 is what? 3. So you are going to have minus 1 raised to power 3. Open bracket. Minus 3 times minus 4 is what? 12. Then minus 1 times this will give us minus 1. Minus times minus will give us plus 1. Do you understand? So we are going to say our A21 is also the same thing as what? Minus 1 raised to power 3 will give us minus 1. Then open bracket. 12 plus 1 will give us what? 13. Do you understand? So our A21 is equals to minus 1 times 13 will give us minus 13 for A21. So do we understand? Sorry. I said we have A21. Our A21 is equals to always our minus 1 is constant. Then you are going to say this 21 is going to be this 2 and 1. You are going to say 2 plus 1. Open bracket. Minus 3 times minus 4. Minus times 1 times minus 1. So you are going to move on again. You are going to have A21 equals to open bracket minus 1 close bracket 2 plus 1 is what? Raised to power 3. Then you open your bracket. You are going to have minus 3 times minus 1 is what? 12 plus 1. Then you are going to move on. we are going to say A21 equals to minus 1. A minus 1 raised to power 3 will give us minus 1. Open bracket 13 close bracket. So you are going to say A21 equals to minus 1 times 13. So minus 1 times 13 will give us A21 is equal to minus 13. So do we understand? So let's move on. So we want to solve for A22. We want to solve for A22. We are going to clean this. We apply the same method too. So A22. This is A22. Do you understand? So everything here, A22 will affect everything in this line, in this row. Then A22 will affect everything in this column. Do you understand? So now A22 is affecting this place and is affecting this place too. Do you understand? Now A22 is using 2 times minus 4, then 3 times minus what? Minus 1. Do we understand? So let's move to the other side. Let's move to the other side. So let's move to A22. Our A22 says A22 is going to be equals to, our A22 is equals to be what? Equals to, always minus 1 is always what? Constant. So you are going to say minus 1, then you repeat your A22, you are going to have 2 plus 2, open bracket. So you are going to have, in this A22, here is blank, we are not using this place, we are not using this row, and we are not using this column. So what are we using? We are using this place, and this place. So you are going to have 2 times minus 4, 2 times minus 4, minus 1 times 3. So do we understand? Minus 1 times 3. So you are going to say, so we are going to have our A22 equals to what? Minus 1, 2 plus 2 is what? 4. Do we understand? So we are going to say 2 times minus 4 will give us minus 8. Minus 1 times 3 will give us minus 3. Minus 3 times minus will give us plus 3. Do we understand? So now we are going to say A22 is equals to minus 1 raised to power 4 will give us 1. Then we are going to have minus 8 plus 3 will give us minus 5. So our A22 is equals to minus 5. So our answer for A22 is what? Minus 5. So let's move forward to A23. So I want to clean this. We are going to clean this. Then we move to what? A23. So A23. So this will affect this. Then this will affect this. So A23 is affecting the column beside it, then and the row attached to what? To it. So now we are making use of this 2, 3, minus 3, and 1. So now we said earlier, we said A23 equals to minus 1 is always constant. Then you repeat these 2 and 3. 2 plus 3, open bracket, 2 times 1, 2 times 1, then minus 3 times minus what? 3. 3 times minus 3. Then you continue. You have A23 equals to minus 1 raised to power what? 5. 2 plus 3 will give us 5. Then we continue. 2 times 1 will give us 2. 3 times minus 3 will give us minus 6. Sorry, minus 9. So minus 9 times minus will give us plus 9. So do we understand? So let's continue. You have A23 equals to minus 1 raised to power 5 will give us minus 1 times 2 plus 9 will give us 11. So A23 equals to what? Minus 1 times 11 will give us minus 11. Minus 11. So do we understand now? So let's move forward to what? A31. Let's move forward to what? A31. So A31. Do you understand? So now our A31 is going to be, we are going to clean this. We don't need this again. Clean this. So now our A31 is 3. Our A31 is 3. Then it will affect everything in this row. Then it will affect everything in this column. So this is the element for what? A31. So the element for A31 is minus 3 times 2, then 4 times minus 1. So we are going to move on. So our A31 minus is always what? Take note, is always what? Constant. Minus 1 is always what? Constant. So you are going to have 3 plus 1 plus 1. You open your bracket. Then you now say again. You now say minus 3 times 2 minus again. You are going to have 4 times minus 1. 4 times minus 1. You continue. You have A31 equals to minus 1. 3 plus 1 is what? 4. You open your bracket. Minus 3 times 2 will give us minus 6. Minus 4 times minus 1 will give us minus 4. Abi? Okay, let's say minus 4. So you have A31 equals to 4 minus 1 raised to power 4 will give us 1. So now, minus times minus will give us plus 4. So we have A31 equals to what? 1 minus 6 plus what? Plus 4 will give us minus 2. So now our A31 equals to what? Minus 2. So do we understand? Our A31 will give us minus 2. So let's move forward to A32. Let's move forward to A32. So hope we are getting it. We are moving. We are going along. So now let's solve for A32. This is A31. So let's solve for A32. So our A32 is what? 1. So this is the row of 1, A32. So it will affect this place, then it will affect this column here. So do you understand now? So now, our A32 equals to minus is always what? Constant. 3 plus 2, open bracket. You have 2 times 2 is what? 4. 2 times 2 minus 1 times minus 1. Sorry, 1 times minus 1. Do you understand? 1 times minus 1. So let's go forward. You have your A32 equals to minus 1, close bracket, 3 plus 2 is what? 5. Then you say what? Open bracket again. 2 times 2 will give us 4. Minus 1 times this will give us minus 1. You say A32 equals to minus 1, close open bracket, 4 minus times minus will give us plus. So plus 1. So you are going to have A32 equals to minus 1, open bracket 5. So you are going to have A32 equals to minus 1 times 5 will give us minus 5. So this is for A32. The answer for A32. So let's move forward. So A33. Let's move forward to A33. Before we move forward to A33, let's check how to get A33 in the what? In the question. In the question above. Here. This matrix form. Let's check. So this is your A33. It will affect everything in this row, then everything in this column. Do you understand? So now we are going to say our A33 is going to be 2 times 4, then 1 times minus 3. Do you understand? So let's move down. So our A33 is what? Always minus is what? Constant. Minus 1 is always constant. We are going to say 3 plus 3. Open bracket. So you are going to say 2 times 4 minus then 1 times minus 3. So you are going to say A33 equals to minus 1, 3 plus 3 is what? 6. So you open your bracket. This time this will give us 2 times 4 will give us 8 minus 1 times 3 will give us minus 3. So you are going to move forward. You are going to have A33 will give us minus 6, minus 1 raised to power 6 is what? Plus 1. So 8 minus times minus will give us plus. So it's going to give us plus 3. So you are going to say A33 is equal to what? 1 times 11. So our A33 is equal to 1 times 11 is what? 11. That is our answer for A33. That is our answer for A33. 33. So now let's, in all what we have done so far, now we've gotten A11, A12, A13, A21, A22, A23, A31, A32, A33. So now, we are going to impute all the A we have in this place in matrix form. So the one with inverse method we solve. So our A11 is what? Minus 18. So our A12 is what? 10. Our A13 is what? Minus 11. Then our A21 is what? Minus 13. Then our A22 is minus 5. Our A23 is what? Minus 11. Then our A31 is minus 2. Then our A32 is what? Minus 5. While our A33 is 11. So this is how we can, this is the method how to solve inverse method. This is how to solve inverse method. So let's continue. So we are going to say, so now we've done with what? Solving how to get our A, everything, our inverse method of A11, A12, A13, A30, A31, A32, A33. So let's move forward. So now our A equals to minus 8, minus 18, 10, minus 1, then minus 3, minus 5, minus 11, minus 2, then minus 5, then 11. So now let's transpose. So the second step, we've done with step 1. Our step 1 is how to derive or to this answer, how to convert this, how to invert this matrix to this answer. Now this is our step 2. Step 2. So you have to what? Transpose. Transpose. So A transpose this. So how to transpose is very simple. To transpose this 3 by 3 matrix we have here is very simple. So you are going to draw your line. So repeat what you have here. You have minus 18, minus 5, and the last one here 11. So they are the same. So now what are you going to do? So interchange this from this. So this one will come here, this one will come here. So you are going to have minus 11, then have minus 2. So this one too will come here. You interchange. So you have minus 11, then minus 5. Do you understand? So this one too will interchange. You have 10, you have minus 13. So that is the transpose, A transpose. That's how to solve transpose. Do we understand? So let's move forward.